Hey, what's happening? Before we jump into the show, I wanted to see if you had any music on a hard drive. You have a band, you have a project, and you want to self-release your own music. Well, there's an easy way to do it. You can go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate and go get your music up on all the streamers. You keep 100% of your royalties, and you can get 30% off by using this code. It's a great, easy way to get your music up on the streamers and share it with your fans, your friends, your family, your mom, your dog, everybody. Everyone wants to hear it. But go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate, HYPHENATE, and send me the link. I want to hear it too. Send your mom the link. Send your dog the link. They all want to hear it too. We'd like to thank our sponsor, iZotope, the absolute leaders in intuitively designed plugins for audio restoration, mixing, and mastering. At iZotope.com, you'll find a plethora of tools and suites that will enhance your audio production, whether it's voice, video, podcast, or a full production recording session. Check out the industry-standard audio repair tool, RX11, or the multi-tool mixer plugin, Neutron 5, or the powerful Ozone 11 mastering suite, plus tons more. Go to iZotope.com and use the code FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. That's FRET10 to get 10% off at checkout. And again, the website is iZotope.com, IZOTOPE.com. Welcome to Hyphenate Halftime with me, your spookiest host of all, Mr. Randy Randall. And with me, as always, my not quite as spooky host, Mr. Aaron Farley. How is your spooky month going so far, sir?
It's good. Although I realized I just screwed up and did not watch the movie this week. So
that's okay.
Maybe just to make you happy, we'll extend spooky
for the rest of the year.
We'll
go to December.
For 3 more days past Halloween, just so I can actually watch the movie.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, we did watch Scream 1 over the weekend. And,
oh, wow. The very first one?
And it gets right into it. It's good. I saw it when it was in theaters. Did you ever see Scream 1?
Yeah, I didn't see it in the theaters.
Okay.
But I do remember seeing it and remembering that it was, I actually liked, I liked it. I like the, I don't know. Was it really gory?
Kind of. I mean, there's a lot of stabbing.
It gets gory.
There's stabs and bloods, and I mean, it was a big sort of redo for, for like it kind of reset the horror genre for the next 20 years in terms.
And it was kind of funny and
metatextual horror. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I forget, just how like right from the jump, it's like Drew Barrymore, spoilers, gets killed in the first like 10 minutes, and then Neve Campbell gets attacked right away, and then they arrest the boy. It's like you're in it. It's all happening really fast, and then it's like the mystery.
Call is coming from inside.
Hello, Sydney. Do you want to play a game? Do you like scary movies? It's pretty good, but I do get confused a lot with the Scary Movie franchise because I feel like they sort of took that and ran with it as well. The Wayne brothers. Did you see those?
Right. I mean, I watched parts of them. I don't know. I can't say that I sat and watched. I mean, even Scream 1, I'll be honest that I can't say that I remember most of it. So maybe I watched part of it. I don't know.
I fell off of the franchise. I definitely watched the first one. Probably watched the second one.
There's been a ton of them, right?
I think they kind of did the soft reboot or like Legacy sequel with the girl from Wednesday. I think now they're like in New York or something.
Oh, wow.
That was last year.
Like just recently they did?
Yeah, in the last 2 years. But
that makes sense.
What are you gonna do? But it's cool. I mean, it's Wes Craven, which is fun. He was sort of the Nightmare on Elm Street guy, and then he sort of reset everything.
Oh, did he do Scream?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it has its bona fides. It's
sense.
a real horror movie, but it's also commenting on the horror movies. It sort of made it self-aware and postmodern horror films.
It is weird when those kind of things happen in like when artists just know that things are going to get meta, like they start making meta stuff.
We can't not comment about it ourselves. Yeah.
Right. And you start seeing like meta, that kind of meta narrative, maybe in the 90s and the 80s and
certainly.
90s, and then and slowly as it gets to where we are now, where our whole existence is just meta. Like
Well, yeah.
you can't tell right from wrong and up from down, and what you're like, no, but that's real, and we're like, oh no.
Post facts.
I mean, it could be.
I mean, we
But
were
there is not.
we were in the post
There's no real.
irony phase, the kind of post comedy, post irony.
That was fun.
But now it's into post truth, post facts sort of phase of things where,
God.
there's no monoculture, there is no agreed upon reality narrative. You know what I mean? You literally have people,
right,
in theory, living in different realities. I don't know, but I think when it comes to play, I mean, again, I think this is a narrative that's being not to get all on our political horses, but there's a lot of mind fuckery involved. I do want to make sure we talk about last week's guest, Jonathan Hischke, bassist extraordinaire. Have you ever met Jonathan or seen Dot Hacker?
I don't think so.
Or Hella? Did you ever see Hella when they were a 4-piece? That's how we first got into it.
No. I was trying to think if I had ever even actually seen Hella as a 2-piece.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've listened to them a bunch, but I don't know if I ever saw them live.
Man, they were great as a 2-piece. They were great as a 4-piece, but it definitely changed. I think they were like, branching out and doing things, adding more sound to it all. But the 2-piece of Spencer and Zach were wild. It was great. But I mean, it was in the tradition of, Lightning Bolt, and, and I think, and it's, Dean and I, no age, were never like that technical of players that fast. Or,
but you were a 2-piece.
But we were a 2-piece, what I mean? So I think there was a tradition to it. It was definitely, it was inspiring seeing the two of them come out of Sacramento and just blow the walls off of places, as a 2-piece. But so much of that, I mean, again, it's just speed metal in a way, or speed math rock or something. It's amphetamine math rock.
Amphetath rock.
Yeah.
Because even when I was just listening to it, and then I know I say this probably every other week, but one of the greatest things is when you're talking to bands and then you guys just start naming off bands that I've never heard of before, or people that I didn't know made other records, and I always just pause it and I'm like, okay, where's the, and so I looked up,
could get dense.
Some of the Zach Hill.
Right? Well, Death Grips was probably his most successful band.
Well, so I didn't even know that he did Death Grips, but I was looking up his solo stuff and was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. Dean. Yeah. We were on tour at some point, Dean and I, and Zach, we were friends at that point, and maybe technically we're still friends. I haven't spoken to him in years. But there was something, he was like, oh, just come into the studio for the day. We had like a day off after San Francisco. He's like, come up to Sacramento. And then we like just spent a day, and it was awesome. But I have no idea, we played for probably like 6 hours, 7 hours.
And he just recorded all of it?
And he just recorded it all and then cut it up. And it was, in theory, we were on a record, but I couldn't tell you what it was. But what was cool, though, is we did ask him, we're like, can we trade? Can we have some of these tracks too? So we did. So we got something bounced down that he wasn't going to use that day. And I remember we put out a CDR with a little zine that when we first went to Japan. We had some tracks that had never been released, but again, it was just kind of jamming and rambling. It wasn't really like songs, but but it was fun. Yeah. It was, I think Dean on drums and Zach on drums and me on guitar, or Dean on bass or on sample. Maybe Dean was just doing noise and Zach was playing drums and I played guitar. Maybe that sounds right. But we did, it was a limited edition. I think we call it the Flannel Graduate was the name of the Zach Hill No Age collab project. But I think it's up on our Bandcamp. If you go to noage.bandcamp.com, you can buy the digital tracks there. But it was a cool limited edition, zine and all the stuff. It was just like pictures of tour and things. And it was really fun. But I remember we made that zine in the Kinko's. We put it all together in the parking lot of Kinko's in Oberlin, Ohio. We had just played Oberlin, like the kind of cool hippie art school in Ohio. And then we were flying, I think, from Ohio to Tokyo, if that's right. Or maybe we came home to LA for like 12 hours and then flew. Somehow we had to get all this done. So we flew into Ohio and played in Oberlin, which was fun. And then probably went and had some vegan food and then stayed up and put this, zine together in a parking lot and then flew to Japan. So we had something. Like we were like
That's
burning
crazy.
CDs on the laptop and like making, photocopies and then like shoving them in little plastic bags. And, but
Oh
it was
my
great
God.
because we sold for a bunch of money. It was the kind of thing where we knew like Japan liked exclusivity and limited edition and
Yeah,
rareness.
right.
And it was, anything we could do that just was special and unique to just this tour
Yeah.
and just this thing we knew would do well, or we were told would do well. And it did, I guess. But that was fun. That was cool. That was the Zach Hill story. But then he went on. Yeah, Death Grips, I think was kind of like a
So he did all the music, like he did all the music for Death Grips.
I think he did the drums and the programming and stuff, and then there was
the lyrics.
Yeah, did vocals and things. I guess, yeah. But again, I think there was. I don't really know what happened to Zach. I think there might be drugs involved or mental health issues or something, because it seemed like we'd run into him in Sacramento, but he just was very withdrawn and kind of gaunt in ways. It just seemed a little like, oh man, buddy, what's going on? But also in the way where like I think his celebrity and his notoriety and his kind of legendary sort of status kept rising too, in this sort of way where like, are you just in a celebrity zone and you can't really hang out because you're too famous, or are you like going through some kind of mental issues and you can't hang out both. For that? Yeah, exactly. But then you think like, well, I don't know if I knew him that well really to begin with in the first place. You know what I mean? It was always kind of like, just through playing shows, you kind of get into that loop of just running into people all the time places. And you're just like, all right, that's where I live on the road now. I live backstage more than I live in any one town. So.
Well, I feel like I talked about this a lot with people for all of those years that I was, less playing music. I mean, I guess I was playing music, but mostly locally in LA, but it was mostly, photo stuff, but that it was the same time period. So it was the same time, like from 8 o'clock at night until 3 in the morning.
You never saw people in the daylight
for at least 10 years.
That's what you look like. Okay.
And you'd work during the day or maybe see someone, get a like
barbecue
when
going.
You were out grabbing coffee or something,
Yeah.
But most of it was like working on the computer and doing stuff or real photo shoots during the day. But then all of the socializing and all of that was at night, and realizing how most of my friends and people that I knew that I saw often, it was only between like 10 o'clock and 3 in the morning, and never seeing anyone during the day. And that it was like a completely different, it was like two different lives in that sense, where I was like, yeah, you have your daytime friends and your nighttime friends.
Yeah.
And like, I don't even know, like these people that I've known for 10 years, like we don't know where each other lives. We don't know the names. I don't know where that person's from. I don't know where they grew up. And we've had so many conversations about everything, and we see each other all the time, and we hang out, and we've gone from this party to that party, and whatever. But then realizing, like, once that's over, it just, all of that goes away.
Mm-hmm.
In good ways and bad ways, but that it took me a long time to realize, like, when I wasn't quite going out as much and it was more family time, and it was more like, okay, I got to do more bigger photo shoots instead of staying up till 3 in the morning and trying to hustle, like shooting someone's like band photos during the day to pay the rent for the week or whatever. And, that how much you're like, oh, right. I used to see like 200 people a week.
Yeah.
Cause you'd run into like 10 or 15 people every night. And then you add that up and you're like, yeah, I had 100 conversations this week with different people.
It's true.
And then when you're not in that space anymore, and you're during the day, and maybe if you're on like a photo shoot and there's multiple people on that shoot, but you're, like a normal shoot, unless it's a really big shoot, maybe there's 10 people involved, and you talk to them for a couple of days and then you move on. But it's not like that social evening, like shows, whatever, where you're seeing pretty consistently, you're seeing the same group of people. Like, yeah, I talked to 200 people this week. That's a lot of people. Like compared to now, I mean, I guess now that I work at a school where it's like, there's 1,000 kids, and then literally 1,000 kids. And then there's 150 people that work there. I guess it's a little more, it's closer to that, but it's the same 7 people that I talked to there, other than
and under different
insane
circumstances.
Kid. Yeah. There's everybody that's over 16. Those are the 7
It's
people
important.
I talk to every week. And I know you guys were talking about that, like him, Jonathan talking about like going from band. Well, then I got asked to play in this band, and I went on tour with them for a little while, and then I was playing in this band, and then the Hella thing took off for a while, but then I was back to, and you just realize that when you're in those circles, and that's how I used to get jobs. It would, you're talking to people like, oh man, wait, this person works for she just started, she's the photo director at such and such magazine. You should meet her, or you should meet this guy. He does this and this. And that was the way to get jobs, because you're talking to so many people, or to get, our band, that's how we got shows. That's the only way we got shows, or, was like Chris meeting people and going, hey, we're playing at whatever, this kid's house this weekend. I'm like, okay. I met him at the Scene. Okay. Awesome.
Sounds good. I'll
Seems
be there.
sketchy. Kind of.
Probably.
A little bit, but he seems legit. I don't know.
We'll show up.
They have
and
a
find
PA.
out. Yeah.
It was probably your friend's PA.
Probably Marcus's PA getting passed around.
Yeah, Mark. They have this guy, Marcus's PA. I don't know.
So it's pretty cool. Well, this touches on something, and I'm curious your perspective on this, or your sort of insight to it. My wife and I, we are very rooted in our 40s at this point, moving towards the 50s, but we're in our 40s, and we have children. You're aware of our situation, but
yes.
But we've both experienced, and really this is, the 30s into 40s range, the changing of friends, and not, or, your friend group changes because you just of who you're around. You have more, parents, friend groups, or school friend groups. That's normal. I'm not talking about that, but people that you used to think were like your ride or dies, in your 20s, your best friends, and then somebody moves away, or just things change. And Shan's having an issue with one of her friends. I won't go too into specifics, but they're having their 50th birthday, but they're having it out of town. They live out of town. They've lived out of town for a long time. And they were upset that not everybody rallied and went to their birthday. And this friend is single with no kids and has lived in several other cities in the last 20 years, but felt very hurt that not everybody went. And it was the kind of, and was making big public statements like, I guess I see how it is. So really no one's going to show up to my birthday. And it's like, well, when you invited and no one wrote back, then that's probably what that meant. Again, with a bunch of friends who are now with kids and husbands and school things. And I don't know, there's definitely things that happen. And I've experienced this in different levels too, where you just realize like, oh, okay, we were close and now we're not.
Yeah.
And you have to sort of just lump it. You just sort of have to take it. You take it on the chin or take it in the gut. And like, that hurts, but also, what am I going to do? Well, this is the situation. We are not in our 20s. Maybe our social life was built around being at bars every night or playing music, or, we had a certain shared social world, and that's changed. And now my social world and their social world are just different, and our interests are different, and we're just not, as close as we were. I don't know.
Yeah. I think yeah, totally. I 100%, hear that because and I think about it a lot as like you're kind of part of this like tribe of people that is into a thing. It's like being like the you love football, so then all you're going to do is football. You're going to do fantasy football. You're not even going to do fantasy football. You're going to start your own fantasy football team, and then maybe you start the adults two-hand touch football, and then that gets into like, we should all buy flags for flag football, and then we're like, would you guys ever should we do tackle? I don't know. And everybody is into it for like a certain amount of years, and then a couple people get hurt, and then a couple people are like, guys, I'm spending way too much time on football. I'm like, my job's failing. Like I do feel like it's that way with music, to that it's like really hard to stay, and photography too is like, I see the people who are still doing photo or even, just like graphic design and still like freelance, like hoofing it out, like still churning out like really amazing stuff and knowing how difficult it is. And then it does remind me, like when our kids were born, like going to shows and showing up and being like, what's up? And, there's people without kids and everything like, yeah, this is amazing. We're going on tour. And they're telling you all the same gossipy stuff that everything was happening. And you're sitting there going, oh, I'm not in this anymore, am I?
Yeah.
I'm like, I love watching the shows. I love seeing everybody. But like before I was in it, and now I'm like, I'm the guy that got hurt from the football. And I'm like, yeah, I'll come watch you guys play in a couple of weeks. Like what? When do we play again? And it did. And I remember like maybe 5 very specific times where I showed up and was talking and going like, oh, right. Yeah. I don't think I'm here anymore. I don't think this is me anymore. And like, I would have really loved this story like 2 years ago. And it just wasn't, it just was like, yeah, all the stories I had at that point was like, yeah, the kids are like, so crawling is crazy. Like, so they're starting to crawl. You have to like put cushions all over the place to make sure they don't hurt themselves.
Yeah.
You're in that headspace. And when those things happen, it's like, all right, I'm like a different, same guy, and I can still hang with people and say hi, but those moments are shorter and shorter because especially if they don't go the kids route or whatever, then they're just like, I don't know. Sure. I mean, I think even teaching sometimes, like I've realized that when I freelance, you're in the freelance world and you're talking to people and everybody's still on the hustle. Like, who you been working with? Wait, where are you going? And then you tell someone about a shoot, like, oh, I got this little shoot. Like, you haven't even really worked for like 6 months though, right? Like, how'd you get that? Like, who are you working? Are you wait, like they just saw your website or what? Oh, it's someone you used to work with. Like, so are you still staying in contact? And I didn't realize how like the constant competition of like that, like
even
the selling and the buying,
friendly, and even amongst friends,
100%.
Yeah. If anything gets worse,
like, and all the friends going like, oh, you got that. Oh, cool. Yeah. Amazing.
That hurts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, it's amazing.
No, good.
I can't wait to see that.
Great. Yeah. Well, I definitely want to see
that. How many conversations were kind of like that, or like, who'd you use for hair and makeup on that? And then you're like, oh, I don't want to get my people,
yeah,
that kind of stuff. And then now, like, going into some of those conversations, they're like, what's up? And I was like, oh man, it's crazy. I got this autistic kid that's like drawing this amazing stuff and da 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 da. And you watch everyone's eyes glass over. And I'm like, oh, right. Got it. I'm now in the new world. So now I have like my like 30-second, like, here's like a funny story that happened from last week. And then but what are you up to? What's going on? How's it going? Unless they ask more, because that now I'm like not in that life anymore. I'm like, all right, I'm not freelancing anymore. Or even a couple of the clients that I finally was like people I'd shoot for every once in a while and was still kind of doing freelance work. And then was like, yeah, no, I'm teaching like middle school. It's been amazing. And they're like, oh, crazy. I haven't heard from them.
That's the polite,
right?
Yeah.
But like,
brush off.
But like, haven't like, it's like, oh, you're not shooting. I'm like, no, I'm still still shooting stuff and shooting on the weekends and blah, blah, blah. And like, cool. Like, oh, that's the death. I just put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
But it's because it's like, oh, well, I need someone that I can call to show up on a Wednesday afternoon. So like
on call.
That's cool.
Once every 2
Maybe
years.
You'll be the fifth person. Yeah. You'll be the fifth person just in case. Maybe if I can shoot on the weekend, but like, you're not in the world anymore. Congratulations.
Yeah. You got out.
Maybe I'll see you later.
Yeah.
But it's funny growing older. And I think the friends thing is weird too, because when you don't realize how many kids, parents, friends that you have when they're little, because you're just like, yeah, let me bring my kids over, or your kids come over so they can hang. So I have like 20 minutes that I'm not answering every single question from my kids, or like they can just
Hey, Dad.
hang out and play with a friend and do all that. And then you end up being friends with those people. And then as your kids grow older, you go, oh, wait, I wasn't really like, we were like holding on for dear life and like trying to find anything in each other that we could like agree with. Like, oh, you like ceramic bowls? I like ceramic bowls.
Cool.
Every time we get we're going to talk about ceramic bowls. So I know like next time I see you, I'm like, oh, I got to look up a couple bowls and see what's going on. And so we can have a conversation, because I know we're going to talk for 15 minutes and we're both going to be completely fine with that. Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, it's hilarious.
But then the kids grow up and you like those.
It's been like 15 years of ceramic bowl talk.
Well, or your friends move on, and like we moved, and then our friends, and then as the kids get older, like I don't know any of their parents.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you stop
Lila's friends,
being
parents,
open to new friends as the kids get older. You're not auditioning new friend, parent friends who's like, no, I'm good. Yeah. I got some preschool ones. Got a couple elementary school ones. That's it.
Yeah. And then when they get really older, like especially now, I mean, we know Towns' friends' parents, because he's still young enough to need to be driven everywhere. But now that Lila drives and all that, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I've met some. I've waved. We know a couple of them because they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
But most of them, it's like shake hands at soccer games, and then like, I'm going to go sit over here because I just want to watch soccer.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Well, I think I started saying hi to people that I didn't even know. I was like, did you play on the team with them last year? Like, no, Dad. Why are you waving at strangers? I was like, that's the kid. He played defense for your team like, 3 years ago. It's like, no, I don't know him. He looks just like the kid. I see the dad every week here. They practice on the different field. Yeah. Like, I just recognize. Shit, I don't recognize anybody. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna stop. I'm either just gonna wave to everybody or just stop waving to everybody. I can't tell. I'm just gonna. I end up just going for the wave with everybody. I give a nice good to see you, not a good to meet you. Just say, hey, good to see you. What's going on? Like, hey, who are you? Right. Yeah.
And all the kids, it's like, that's Jack, and you're like, no, I know that's Jackson. Sure. No, it's Jack. Jackson's another kid. You always call him Jack. I'm like, that's like
Jackson with an X.
I mean, Lila, all of her
friends.
K?
What kind of Jackson?
All of her friends are the same to me.
Of course.
When she tells me, she's like, well, I was at Lily's house. I'm like, oh, Lily from blah, blah, blah. No, I don't know. I don't even go there.
The little wiener kid with the glasses?
Why would you think that I would go to their house? Like, what? I don't know. I've never met them. You totally met them. Remember last year at tennis? I'm like, okay, I don't know.
You lost me. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
like all the names sound familiar, and then I meet them, and so now I just, other than the 5 of her friends that I really know well,
sure,
that all of the other ones are like, if when I meet them, I'm like, good to see you.
The ones you're legally the ones you're legally required to know about because they're either at your house or your kids are at their house. So I need to know who those parents are. Those kids, I need to know. I know well. Yeah. If this kid's going to get into my car, I need to know who their parents are. I need to have a phone number before anybody gets in my car. This is not an Uber service.
Yeah, but now that doesn't even exist because she just takes the car.
Well then, yeah. You hope she knows.
Like, who's in your car? Yeah, who came home? Like, why is there beer in the back of the car?
Oh no!
Oh my God! Did they leave it in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think we're also at this point too, it's just funny in this where it's like, I don't know, I don't know. It's it's just getting older. It's just a different group of people where you realize like, I don't have time. I don't have time to really worry about any of this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm too old to really have to like pretend to care about things. I'm out of the woods of like pretending like, oh yeah, it's important. Like, no, I don't care. It's cool. I'll catch you next time. Yeah. I'm too tired to go out, or too tired to be worried if I offended you by not coming to your party, or it's like, it's okay.
Oh, that, yeah. That's a tough one. It's a tough one too, because you also have
I
to
would
like
love to
read
go to
the room.
things. I want to go to things, you know what I mean? But you can't go to everything, that you want to go to. It's just you know,
Well,
especially in little kids. I mean, we're still, like under 10,
yeah.
years old. And it's just like this part, there's really no extra time like this. Yeah. If you're free on this weekend, like no, there's no free. If I'm lucky
Yeah.
to have an hour, I'm sitting on the couch. I'm like catching up.
You guys are still
little.
in the holding on for dear life category.
Yes, spinning out of control. Just,
Yeah.
But
Going like, oh, we got this whole, you know what? We got this figured out. Ted!
yeah, no, it's not working.
What happened? What was that crash?
What was that? Yeah.
I don't know.
Is he bleeding? A lot of bleeding or a little bleeding? How much bleeding are we talking about?
Why is there a hole in the wall? Okay. Well,
so he was kicking he kicked me. Well, did he kick you? Well, he was kicking the air around me.
Well, we were playing karate.
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd that start?
But
did he know you were playing karate? Yeah. Well, I was going to tell him after I kicked him.
But I was just playing. But he didn't know.
No, it was fine. Didn't mean it.
But I feel like too, when we're at the age, and this is, unique to where we are at, as a family, but I feel like, we have the little ones. And so we're still Chuck E. Cheese and birthday parties, and it's full on. But then I have friends who are older, whose kids are graduating or going to college or on the way, towards the end of high school. And you're even trying to make social plans with them. Like, hey, you want to go out to dinner? Want to go do this, that? I'm like, no. And I had one friend tell me, we're trying to play music and trying to jam and do things. And he's like, when I think of you, I always just picture you at like a Chuck E. Cheese. And I was like, yeah, that's about right. I mean, you remember what that was, with, whatever that is, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when you spent 10 years of your life at a Chuck E. Cheese or the equivalent of that. That's where I'm at the Chuck E. Cheese phase of my parenting right now. It's
Chuck E. Cheese morphs into soccer, morphs into like music class, morphs into karate, morphs into like basketball, morphs into
but I feel like it's good because obviously they understand and they know, but it's that feeling of like, oh, I know now I'm just a Chuck E. Cheese. Like whenever they're like, oh, we should invite Randy to go do this thing, and it's like he can't go, he's at Chuck E. Cheese, especially on the weekend. You know what I mean? Like something at like 1:00 on a Saturday, I can't go to that. That's not, that's not happening. Or at least not without 6 months notice for, I need
and even then someone will get sick. Someone will get sick on the Friday.
Yeah. Then it's all
it's like every time
with 48 hours.
Like every time that Michelle and I decided we're like, you know what, we're going to have the weekend away. This was the perfect example. So I had, what's that, the hotel that you guys stayed at in
June hotel in Malibu?
In Malibu. Yeah. It's now called June.
Hotel June, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be called something else. I can't remember the name right now.
But you have work there. You have artwork in our room.
Yeah.
In these beautiful, well remodeled,
this cool,
very roadside.
Yeah. Little bungalow.
Right at Point Doom. It's great. But
yeah.
It was so funny. We checked. I think I sent you
bungalow.
pictures. We got all checked in and we're like, ooh, this is fancy. Like, what? This is Farley's work on the wall. What the fuck?
I was just happy the work was still up there because
survived the fires.
Because the company that owned it and built it before, so it had been there forever. It was like a little motel, and the story is that Bob Dylan wrote some song in one of the hotel rooms.
Yeah, Blonde on Blonde.
And like
the one
stayed
we stayed
there while he was estranged from his wife for a while.
They told us we stayed in that room. We stayed in the Bob Dylan room. Now they might say that to everybody.
Oh, okay.
We got
and it was like right at the end. It was the second
right
to last one or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that had always been the story of that place, but that place had been owned by the son had owned it, and the dad was a photographer previously, and so there was all this weird history to it. And I had done some shoots for the guys who had, because it was a couple of the people who had also helped get the Line Hotel started in Koreatown.
Yeah, that's still fancy.
And I had done some photography for them in the past. Super cool guys. And so when they were doing this place, they were like, hey, would you put some photography up on the walls or give us some photos to put it up there, and, we'll sell them and whatever. And my stuff was up there and a couple other artists, and it was cool because there are these little tiny rooms. And so, but part of it was like, there wasn't much payment involved, but there were like free weekends, like a couple free weekends or something. And so we're like, awesome, perfect. I'll do it. I mean, that's worth, it's like, I don't know, at that point it was like $400 a night. So like, it's like $1,000. I don't know. It was like free weekends and then a dinner at the place there.
Nice.
Across the street.
In trade.
And
you're giving trade.
Yeah, it was like, I'm like, this is a great trade. This is good. I definitely did not come out ahead, but this is I'll take a weekend in Malibu. And so, Michelle and I, we do a weekend and we're ready to go. And her mom came into town and picked the kids up from school. They were still in grade school at this time. Towns was in kindergarten.
Oh.
And which means Lila was in third grade. And they were, BB comes all the time to pick them up. They're best. They're so excited. And so we're on our way. Or no, I'm coming home. I'm headed home. And Michelle's at home, like getting everything ready. And then Barb picks the kids up and she calls Michelle and she's like, hey, so Towns is kind of holding his arm weird.
No.
He said he fell off the jungle, like the monkey bars or something.
I remember this. Yeah.
And or no, the dome. He fell off the dome. So they have one of those geodesic dome climbing things at their school, or they had one, and the kindergartners were not allowed on the dome. Like it was second grade and above, right? But of course, the kindergartners would always try to sneak onto the dome. And so he had been on the top of the dome and he fell through and he landed on his arm. But since he was so scared of getting in trouble, he didn't tell anybody. Aww. And this happened like maybe at the end of the day, but he still had to go to school. So he was like, his arm was hurting. And so we're like, well, he probably just, twisted his wrist or something. So we go home and we look at it and I'm like, that's a pretty big bump, buddy. It's like right on the bottom of not his wrist, but like just below his wrist. We're like, all right, meet us at the ER. Like, oh no, that's what it was. She sent a photo and I was like, yep. Well, his ER, like meet us in Glendale. It's right there. Yep. And so we go and grab him and take him in there. He gets x-rays. Yeah, he's got a broken arm.
Yeah.
But the greatest thing was that because we were going to be gone for the whole weekend. So she was just picking him up and then taking them to Camarillo for the whole weekend. And so we're going to Malibu. So we're like, okay, you guys just go. We'll see. We'll, at the very least, we'll just come and stay in Camarillo or whatever. And so we get there. He's got his little sling on and a soft cast that's wrapped up because they can't put the cast on yet. And we just go there and he's like, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. You guys should just go. And then her dad is a vet, like a veterinarian anyway. And he looks at it and he's like, I mean, I can just go take another x-ray of it if we need to. It's not a big deal. It's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
And so he broke his arm. We dropped him off at the grandparents' house and just
and
went to
you guys still went? Oh my God. That's amazing.
That's great. He's fine.
That's a parenting hero story.
I mean, he was the second one.
That's
so
true.
if that would have happened to Lila,
I see what you're saying. Yes.
We would have never, it was like
lockdown. No one's going anywhere for a month.
When it was only her,
Yeah.
And we didn't have a second one. I mean, the story I always tell is that with Lila, we got gifted one of those, like a baby monitor, but with the video, oh no, it didn't have the video thing. It just was the audio one. So you'd hear some snoring and then you wouldn't hear snoring and he'd go running in like, oh my God, she's not breathing. It was so stressful with this baby monitor. And then when you finally, it's like, okay, she's getting older. Everything's fine. And then when he was born 2.5 years later, someone gifted us a baby monitor with a video camera on it.
You never plugged it in.
And we didn't open it because we were like, he's fine. I don't know. It's fine. Like he's just like a baby. They're fine. That's funny.
Amazing. Yeah, no, it's so true. But I mean, and I think these are the things, and especially, in friendships and things where, if the other friend doesn't have kids, or your kids are different ages, or or just different parenting ideas, or any of these things, it's just enough, like, to really just spin a relationship in a whole different direction. You can still get together and you still see each other, and it's like, hey, all right, yeah.
But speaking of those listeners right now who don't have kids, have done the Homer Simpson back into
they've left
bushes long ago.
They left 30 minutes ago. They were like,
they heard one of these stories and they're like, all right, dads.
All right, I see what's going on. I mean, honestly, who's if you don't have kids and you're not our age, who's really listening to this? I feel like
this is torture, but this is good. Maybe
but if you do have kids and you are this age and I mean, I feel like I never really understood this. You never you can imagine things, but really having young children and having ailing parents, the real crux of this middle-aged life of honestly, dealing with your parents' death and illness and poor health or surgery, this the health conditions or, quality of life issues of your parents and the quality of life of children you're raising, being pulled in both directions, or just being aware of everyone else's condition or care for that, your parents or that generation and your kids in that generation. And it's really, you're just there in the middle and all funniness of it all, I get all that, but it's really, but you feel it, you feel both sides. And that's where the coffee and the sighing and you get up slowly out of chairs, all of those things. It's like, there's it's so easy to make the joke, when you're younger, like, all right, old man, cracking that extra beer, whatever, just sitting, doing nothing. Like, what are you doing? Why are you not running around? It's like, I'm just sitting. And I was like, well, you don't know why you're sitting for so long, but when you've put on the same pair of shoes 4 times in a row just to get a little person out of the house and their sock feels weird, so you got to take the shoe off again and put it back on, and then you get the phone call from the parent explaining that they tore their calf muscle playing handball down at the gym with their war buddies, or their and you're just like, what the fuck. Like, okay, well, ice it. We'll figure it out how to get you food or something. What do you need? Okay. Oh, you heard from the doctor? That wasn't good. Okay. Well, okay, let's do the follow up. Let's go get the tests. Let's go get the thing. And then your kid, Dad, I spilled cereal on the thing. Like, okay. Well, okay. Well, hold on. I'm talking to Grandpa. I'm talking to Grandma right now. Hold on. We're scheduling follow-ups to this thing that's not good, but you kids are great. Yeah. And you feel, and you're just, cause you can see it. It's like it's very much, a literal middle age place. And
right.
And I know what happens to everybody, just like all of these things. If you're in the swing of things, and probably the median falls right there, you're right in the middle of, you get into your 40s and you got somebody going and somebody coming, and you're just sort of like, okay, all right. Kind of you're in that train station, or you're in the airport station of life. There's the goings and the comings. You're just like, okay, you just kind of have to smile through it, because both of them will make you cry. Know what I mean?
Like, okay. Well,
you'll smile, you'll
at
cry
the airport
10 times a day. It's like, oh, this is so sad. I have to make a joke, or else I'm just going to cry all day.
Yeah.
And then
it gets better, Randy. It gets better. Trust me.
Okay. And then your job's fucked up, and then something, like, oh fuck, I thought that money was coming. Oh, God damn it. Well, it's not like I have to take care of aging parents and young children or anything, like braces and
No.
Okay.
Listen. Somehow every single person before us figured out a way to get through it. And that's the only way we even got here. So I feel like the existential woes of right now are also like, it's like the darkest of dark comedies, because we all like it's like, our dreams are coming true, but the dreams were just nightmares. Because like every punk song talked about what's happening now. Amy Goodman has been telling us every single morning what this exact moment is going to happen.
Who's that?
Oh, the woman from on KPFK every morning
okay.
from Democracy Now.
Oh, okay.
You ever listen to Democracy Now?
It's been a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, but Noam Chomsky has been telling us every single thing that's going to happen. Like every science fiction writer has told us
Yes,
every single thing that's actually happening. Every historian pretty much is telling us like where we're going and what's happening.
Yeah.
And then we all just went like, yeah, I mean, I know, but like,
it's happening.
It's not really, it's not really going to happen though, right? That can't really happen. And then when it actually happens and you go, did he just say verbatim like
everything,
a Hitler speech in a public place and people cheered? Wait, did that happen? Wait, what? Oh my God, it did happen. It's really happening.
But I mean, just
why is this happening?
But even just keeping it like on the personal level, of getting to that age where these, where you're experiencing all this stuff at the same time, there does feel like some weird like dark shadow of the teenage years where, where you you feel so unique and you feel everything that's happening to you and it really matters and it's really important to you. And then, like you say, if you can pull out for any period of time and realize like everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody has been 16. Everybody has been in their mid to late 40s and experienced the death of parents and the trauma of raising small children, and at the same time, like this is not unique. Every James Brooks movie is about this. All of these things. It's like, this is, Judd Apatow has made a career out of exploring this point in someone's life.
But it's real.
But it's exactly. But you feel it, and you mean it.
It doesn't matter how many people get punched in the face; it still hurts when it happens to you.
Yeah, it will happen to you, and it will hurt.
Yeah,
and
it will happen.
And it's very personal. Hurt. It's because it's your blood that's coming out of your nose. It's your black eye that's swelling up. But
then
just know you're not the only one who's had this happen to. In fact, everybody's had this happen to them.
Just no one wants to hear you cry about it.
Right. That's it. And I guess that's what I mean about like the teenageness of it all, where you're just like, you got your heart broken, your first heartbreak. It sucks. Fucking move on. Don't write a fucking record about it.
Here.
Don't write a song about it.
Give me a hug. Yeah. Try to write a hit record. Do they have those anymore?
Everything you're feeling right now, put it into a TikTok video. Yeah. Let's get you viral.
Let's get some engagement.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to get your wisdom teeth taken out right now? Can we get some of those videos? Can we put you on some kind of sedative?
Give her extra gas. We're trying to get 100,000 views.
Oh Lord. Yeah. I guess that's where we're at. That's what this is. This is the 40s, the late 40s into the 50s era of just like fuck.
Yeah.
The middle-aged fuck.
But also it's really fun to have kids.
Of course
I would say
is, but
if all this bullshit was happening and we didn't, just for me personally, and I know Michelle feels the same way, that if we were not going through this with like kids in tow and doing all of that craziness and whatever, that to me, it would be much more difficult for me because I like that. Like, well, at least we have us, like
the family,
whatever.
The crew.
Yeah, totally. The crew and these like good kids. And we're also like out doing stuff and you're like, what are we doing? Okay. I'm driving to Irvine for a soccer game. And then
it's a reason
we're going to go do this.
Put your pants on, leave the house, even when you don't want to.
Yeah. Oh, and like, we're going to talk about college and work and
pretend like there's a future
in
the world of it all. But that's the thing too, right? As I remember, I remember thinking back when I was a teenager or a young person and like, why are the old people always fucking watching the news? And they were so fretting and they look so nervous and they just can't stop watching the news. And it's like, come on, everything's going to be great. It's what the fuck are you doing?
It's fine.
Come on.
Candy. Look, candy.
Yeah. Don't you know there's bars out there with like $2 PBRs on Tuesdays? The fuck? Yeah. Stop watching the news. Let's go. There's some band called The Strokes that are playing. Who gives a fuck? Come on. But
that was the end of it.
But then now looking back and go, oh right, the world was probably ending for them. You know what I mean? There's a certain level of like, holy shit, 9/11 just happened, or oh shit, George W. Bush is the worst president so far. All of these things are just the hell in the handbasket of the world.
Iraq
was going down.
Korea,
we're doing this all again.
Vietnam.
How could they be doing this? How could they be so stupid? They're wasting the money. They're giving the millionaires the tax breaks. They're damaging this. They're doing that. They're taking away this. And then you get to a point, and you're like, oh, that's that's me. But the world really is ending. The world really is terrible.
It really is this time.
Shannon and I, we went to something called ZCon, a Generation Z convention, which was really fun. It was through her work. There was this, kind of, anyway, that's a whole other story. But seeing a bunch of 22 to 24-year-olds just say, this is our time. It's not just a seat at the table. We're raising the stakes. We're doing all this stuff. And I think it's just, we're looking at each other like, is anyone going to tell them this shit is over? But then I made me realize, like, oh, I was that person. That's just look, that innocent look of like, come on, everybody. So we're going to put on a show and save the neighborhood. You're like, yeah, and it's inspiring. You're like,
you know
right,
what? Do
yes, it. You're right. I was there, and I want that. I want to believe. I want to believe in everything you're saying right now. Sounds great.
I will support you, and I'll try to catch up, but I'm not as fast as I used to be.
Yeah, go forth, and blindly, just optimistically change the world, because you can.
Please,
because no one else was with you. There's that feeling of just like, I could be cynical, or I could just say, fuck yeah. Here's my email.
Yeah, shut all the old people out for a while.
Put me on the mailing list when you figured it out, because I want to be on that side of the positive kids who want to do something good. But they were all really sweet and really nice people, and it really felt like a lot of like community and positivity and acceptance. And it was a very like loving, nice group of people, and I kind of thought, and it made me think about our generation. I was like, we were kind of some backstabbing motherfuckers. There's a lot of judging back.
There's stuff. Still a lot of those around.
I'm sure they are, but this particular group, it was all, maybe they're all just because they're doing well, or they come from rich families, or they have connections, or they have some reason to feel hopeful and young, and But it was great. I don't know. I took it all away. I was like, this is awesome.
I have to say, the younger kids, like the middle school kids that I'm involved with, are much more accepting of each other than we were.
That's incredible.
Of like differences and different people and LGBTQ stuff and autism and
amazing, right?
Everything.
It's inspiring to see.
Yeah. It's like I have like a kid that just came into my room who has like pretty extreme Tourette's, who just started the other day. I told all the kids, and they're like, okay. And then he came in, and there's some stuff, and everyone just kind of was like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. What do you want us to do? Worry about it? We're not worried about it.
Keep going.
And like all the other kids that are, there's a lot of like just kids that there's a lot of things that when we were kids, those kids would have been kicked out or put into a room with those other kids, and like,
integration.
Whatever those actions are, those are disruptive to the normal people. And so the normal people need to get to work here. And so we're, and now it's much more like, no, the classes should reflect what real life is like. And real life is that everybody's different. The spectrum, not just the spectrum, but like the spectrum of people is much bigger than we allowed before. And you guys should learn how this works when you're young, learn how to deal with those differences, learn how to deal with being in a room that isn't quiet all the time, or could be disruptive, and learn how to deal with those disruptions as a group, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, they're like 12, they're like learning this stuff.
It's great.
And when we were kids, like, those kids, it would be hard to say that those kids would not have been made fun of.
Absolutely.
And the teachers might not have the teachers may have turned a blind eye,
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the 80s movies that we grew up on. When you watch those, like, oh my God, this is such a good movie. And you watch them with your kids, like, this is a horrible movie. This is like,
it's all stereotypes and boobs.
Yeah, this isn't. Yeah. This is not okay.
Yeah.
But,
no, I think it's interesting though too. Cause when you talk about
that does give me hope.
Yeah. When you talk about those things though too, I mean, I'm of the mind of it as well, where like acceptance wasn't really the word, but I think there wasn't the diagnoses, or there wasn't a word really for everybody's thing. It wasn't like you're on a spectrum. It was like, oh yeah, that's twitchy, or that's the that's the kid that just likes to do backflips in the middle of the class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there was there was a version somewhere of it, but it wasn't labeled, but it also wasn't, I guess, it was judged, and it was, it was sort of embraced in whatever way there was to embrace it, whether it was through comedy or bullying, or, it sort of existed. I think that's part of the frightening thing that I see from an RFK point of view, whether this is a new phenomenon. You're like, no, this has always existed, but we don't, but in terms of the labeling and the naming and the treatments and actual like productive, ways of dealing with it, those didn't always exist. But, you always growing up, you always saw different people who had differences. It just was up to the community. Yeah.
Well, and a lot of times those kids would just get expelled, or they would get kicked out, or they would get sent to the girls and boys school, or they would get, whatever. And now there is just, for the time being, there's support. And I think support is the big thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that is like what is weirdly under debate in this country right now, is like support for people who need it.
Insane.
In every way, right? Yeah. Like medical support, and support for drug abusers, support for alcoholics, support for like SNAP support for food, for kids' food, for, it's like, and California schools were the first schools to be like, no, if you need lunch, just come get lunch. Like lunch is free for everyone. If you're in the line, you get lunch. And the fact that was such a big deal, and everyone's like, we're spending all this money for these kids. And you're like, dude, it's food for kids. It's like $1 a piece, maybe. Like, what are you talking? Like, who is against that? Like the idea that someone has tricked you guys to be against this, that it is in your best interest to be so mean and horrible,
and to wave a Christian flag on top of this as your rallying cry of being good Christians.
But that you don't want like a child to have food.
Yeah, to feed and house the poor, wash the feet of the poor. I mean, this is like it's right there. It's the big parts they put it. It's all the stuff that Jesus says is in bold. There's a big part. They make sure you see it. They're not hiding it from you.
People love hearing that. They love hearing those stories. I don't know what it is about the missing part of hearing them and then actually like taking it in. That's like, this is what I should do. But it's the interesting thing of that when people hear those stories, and these are like so many of the religious stories of like, here's what you should do, and like, you should not be greedy, and you should not be, should whatever. Yeah. And then that whole part of like that people just love going like, oh my God, Jesus was just such an amazing, like just so amazing. And then we're like, yeah, so we're going to help these people, like those dirty people over there. I am not touching them. Right. Like whatever that like line thing is that so many people have is just, that's to me what always got me of like, I don't get it, guys. At least just admit to being not that guy. Then that's fine. At least you're being honest. Right. Like, at least like, you know what? No, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like this. And it's just because of that. Or it's just because of that's who I am or whatever. Like, at least that's respectable.
Yeah. No, but I think it's all the propaganda and the brainwashing, or the, the selling it of like, well, if you're under attack, if it's you against them, and, and we're at war, and this is this, this enemies from within, and adversarial terrorism, and this kind of, when things get labeled as such, then you're no longer human. You don't see other, that's the issue. I mean, there's a logic to this, where the evil, it doesn't happen from intention. It happens from, abstaining or apathy or fear, it's all of these things that cause, the actions that will impact so many people. It's not from, nobody's out there thinking, I want to be a evil son of a bitch today. So,
some people are.
Well, yeah. But it's,
but not most people.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's and it's really just not to stick up or to make excuses, but just in the way of like having some understanding, or having some sort of sense of like, okay, can we like, there's a lot of things to agree on,
Yeah, totally.
And it's, yeah, obviously it's a plan. It was the point. There's the point of the whole thing was to divide everybody. So then even on being on the left, it's like if we were playing to the division, it's just like, this is their framework. The framework is to divide and to sow conflict and hate. And so much of it is, it's not what it's about.
Well, really this comes back to what we were talking about with the teams and the like feeling like you're a part of this small group who really thinks one way or does a thing. And that I think that a lot of times this, like, people even politically get into those groups and they think that thing. And even if they go, I could help that guy across the street. But then, like, what would Dave think? Like, what would this group think that if I actually, if they found out that I like wavered,
right,
and there's a lot of that, like, well, I know I should probably be doing that thing, but like, if I don't show up for the anti-immigrant rally, even though like my buddy is an immigrant, whatever. I mean, we live up here where there's so many back and forths. There's like the kids who are out kind of, but then they're super Republican, Trumpy, whatever. And I'm like, but you're okay. Yeah. And then people who are completely full Trump people, and then people in their family are here illegally and they know it. And they're like, yeah, but it's not them. They're not the problem, and you hear this, like, the mental gymnastics is just,
yep.
It makes me breathe out. Sigh, a heavy sigh of something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I do feel that it is ill-informed.
Sure. There we go.
Yeah. And they're coming for you too. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Well, we can get back to our horror movie discussion next week, since we didn't watch it. Oh my God,
yes.
Yeah.
What movie were we going to watch?
We were going to watch Freaks, the 1932 film.
Right, the old one,
which would fit into this conversation greatly about Other Ring and just how dehumanizing the world is. But I mean, again, it's also,
this week.
It might feel like homework. I don't know. We could go somewhere else in the 80s weird world of stuff. I don't know. Sometimes black and white movies can be.
I don't think it'll feel like homework at all. It was more that in my real life.
Oh yeah.
For work, I had a lot of homework.
Oh, okay.
I had like 2 presentations and this other thing that I had to do. So I just completely, and then, yeah.
Oh yeah.
3 soccer practices.
the rest of life being life. Oh, absolutely. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what your Halloween costume is. I can't wait to hear about everything that you dressed up as. So it's coming. It's coming this week.
It is going to be
everybody.
So good.
You can send us your pictures of your Halloween costumes at hyphenatehalftime@gmail.com, or find us on the interwebs at Aaron Farley, at Randy S. Randall, and send us what you're doing. Are you in a cover band? Are you playing Misfit songs?
Yes.
Hopefully. Are you doing something fun and artistic and creative for Halloween? Send us to us. We want to see it. We'll repost it. We will talk about it on next week's podcast. So find us there, hyphenatehalftime@gmail.com, at Aaron Farley, at Randy S. Randall. Leave us a like and a review. I don't think you can like podcasts. I don't know. Leave us a review.
I think you can.
Friends. Can you like podcasts? Okay.
Sure.
If you can figure out how to like this podcast, write in and tell us how you did it, because we want to know.
We'll post it.
We'll post how to do it. We'll post instructions for liking podcasts in next week's show. All right. Until then, be well, everyone. I will see you on Thursday with another interview, and we'll be back here to wrap it all up next Monday, the 3rd. Is that right? Yeah, it'll be the 3rd of November.
The 3rd.
Yeah. Hey, I love saying the dates. Saying the date of every Monday that we have on the show really kind of dials me, keeps me locked into life, keeps me dialed in.
It keeps it real. Makes it real.
Yeah. Say the date. Say the date.
Say the date.